Hello, everybody. It's the Divine Brothers convening once again. Feeling pretty good, pretty happy, and I gotta say that I want to take a moment to appreciate one of those Christian virtues of faith. Here's why. Yeah, I was thinking about this week. Chase is probably going to be moving on to the next chapter of his life, and I gotta be honest, man. Chase is it's very easy to shit on Chase. I've done it many times in my life, and I think it's kind of a family pastime, just to have a nice little Asian squat and put a nice dookie right on top of his head. But I gotta say, one thing I can give you credit for, brother, is you stayed committed to, and I still remember this. I still remember this. I think you were talking to good old Boda in Thailand, and he said to you, licensed American psychologist. And for what is it now? Almost 8 years, 10 years, something like that. You stuck to that, and it's finally working out, man. It pays to fucking stay faithful,
But
to just commit.
you bring a boat. You want to know why boat is a great friend? Because he lets you know expectations way ahead of time. It's like, look, we're friends, but if we're
Um,
going to continue this friendship, you need to be
yeah,
like successful. Like, go do something, go back there, get your license, and like make a lot of money, and then talk to me again. I'm like, okay, all
yeah.
right. So, but he'll tell you that straight to your face, which, most people don't. That's just front and center. I love
But
that.
to have the clarity of that, man, like I still remember you telling me that story way back that he said each word, so to licensed American PhD and it was just like that was like the that was the manna from heaven. That was the light in the distance, and you were like, this is the goal, and you fucking stuck to it, and we all shat on you for it,
Dude,
but it would
it's
work out.
I'm blowing recruiters' minds, man. So you got to fill out all your stuff on this recruiter website. They're setting up meeting jobs, and I'm like, yeah, I can't put in my university. It asks for a code, and they're like, oh, it's every university's got a code in U.S. and Canada. I'm like, yeah, I didn't get mine there. They're like, well, Europe too. I'm like, yeah, Europe. Like, what? They're like, we've never seen a doctor from Asia. I was like, that's right. They're all impressed.
That's right. It's
Yeah,
actually it's
they
I
don't even
think they
have it in the
you know
system.
what
They
you
don't know what to
say.
do.
You tell them you're progressive. Actually, yeah, I'm internationally minded, and I'm frankly a little insulted that you only accept your racist American universities. In case you can't tell, I'm Native American. You got to drop these facts on them. They're going to make you want them more.
Eat it up, man. They eat it up. They love it.
Mm,
Yeah.
I love that shit.
Well, and
But it's
me and we were talking, but this is the thing, because my life, I've talked to people in therapy, like successful people, where it's been, yeah, I got this, and I'm struggling to which path of success am I going to choose? Is it A, B, C, D, E, or G? And it's like, what a life. I've never had that experience.
mm,
My life
yeah,
has been think you're going to die, struggle, and then one path at the very last second, and you stay alive a little longer. I um
yeah,
I've envied people like that. I can't celebrate too early, but it would be fucking incredible to have a couple of options. I can't imagine what that does to your psyche.
yeah. See, like there are those people who have to choose between the private jet and the yacht,
Mm.
and then there are the people who have to choose like, do I do I vomit in the toilet or do I just do it in the trash can next to the bed? Like there's just it's just the different layers of life, man. So it's good to see. But I do come back to this idea of faith because I think that having a clear, almost like mantra sort of thing that you are aiming for in life is really important. I was talking to Wien about this the other day. You inspired him, Chase. You inspired me too. I don't have a sentence like that. I don't have like a licensed American psychologist. You know what I mean? Some clear set thing to strive for through all the years and work towards. I need to consult Boda. That's what needs to happen. I need a nice Boda who's like, listen, man, here's how you get to hang out with me and the rich people. Okay. I need you to have these titles. Go work on that. Come see me in 10 years.
It's never the title. I just wanted to do like some cool shit. Like I'll go somewhere cool. I want to go have like a unique fucking job and experience. That's all I ever wanted. That was
Yeah.
numero uno. It makes life worth getting up for on occasion. Because most of the time life is just blah, blah.
We won't go into the details, but I'll put it to you this way. Chase has got offers for probably the most distinctive paths possible. each one is so different and so like insanely like just unique. You could either be like in the roughest rough and tumble place ever, the most country fucking place ever, the most rich city ever, go as local as you want to, go as foreign as you want. It's just options.
I
There's
th
nothing better than options.
What me and Dean were talking before we got on. So there's one, it's prison, correctional. And these
Mm,
people are just, oh, yeah, when are you gonna come? I'm like, dude, you haven't even sent me a job description. Like, you don't
yeah.
even ask to see my CV. Like, it's like this is crazy. They pay well and they just keep tapping up the offer. Oh, we'll send it, we'll pay
Mm.
you this. We'll pay. I'm like, what? You can feel the greed and you start to like grow, but then you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
I do I really want to be hanging out with the people that are in there for life? Like that, there's a good chance you will get shanked or stabbed. I was like, what am I doing? But you can feel it growing because the desperate. You can sense their desperation. It's kind of
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Hey, do you ever get the little bit of a tingle for danger? Like maybe I
It
can.
doesn't scare
Maybe
me.
it's a little. You're
That
kidding,
dude, if they
really?
offer me enough money, I will go. Believe me now. It is like,
Wow.
let's do it. Fuck it.
Wow.
Going
Fuck.
to prison.
I can't imagine like sitting like first of all, like if you're doing your one-on-one therapy, right? Are they like chained to the chair or are
These
they
are my
just sitting?
questions. That's exactly what I wrote in the email. I was like, is there a guard? If I have to do a group, are they chained to the chair? Like, what's going on here? Because
Group therapy? No fucking way. No fucking way. Like
what do you
prisoners,
what are you doing in
maximum
prison for
security.
group there?
Oh,
That's you got. Well, how was your weekend? Well, you think it was, Chase? Fucking same fucking
oh
weekend every
my
week.
God. That would be the start of every fucking. How do you think it was, motherfucker? Huh? It's a white boy coming in here talking to
I'm
me
gonna kill you
worse.
tomorrow. I'm like, oh no.
I'm like,
Death threat on the
oh,
first day. Damn it. I knew I wouldn't last.
what if the first thing they say, like you walk in, is just like, they see you and they're like, it's a hot piece of new meat, boys.
That
Like
will
they just start
happen.
flirting with you. Oh my
You know what
God.
I think mom and dad would like? They would tell people that I was in prison, which is technically true. And I think people would be like, yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that one. That one. Yeah, yeah, I can
Working.
see that.
Oh, but yeah, wouldn't surprise
Uh,
anybody.
it's still all of them are cool story. All of them are each one of those options is a whole chapter of life. You know what I mean? And that's the other good thing. It could just be one little chapter. It could just be like 1 year, got it on the resume, boom, next. Like it's fucking cool.
I
Really cool.
I definitely look at my life as chapters because the
Mm,
scenery changes so dramatically. And you feel it
true.
too. It's always a new version of myself at every one. And I like to think each one's getting a little better, maybe. But yeah.
I think so, man. The other day I thought of you because a buddy on WeChat was flying on Cathay Pacific,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and he was showing off the meal. He's in the coach section. He's like, "It's the best meal I've ever had." And whoa, whoa, whoa. He's fucking absolutely jizzing his pants over Cathay Pacific and stuff. And then you mentioned Dubai today, and I was like, he's getting closer. He's slowly getting closer. He's moving just a little bit more. If he gets in that corporate world, he's gonna make that kid. Jace, listen, I just want free flights. That's what I'm getting towards. All
Vic
right.
said the
Give me that.
same thing. He said, go to Dubai and get me free. The other thing, interesting thing too, because I struggled with that test for so long. I've had two, I mean, dude, state mental hospital. These are some serious questions. And tribal shit, like dealing with broken people. They're asking you, I am killing these interviews, man. It is a beautiful blend of professional and real, and they are
You've
loving it.
always been
They're getting
interviews.
back to me the same day. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll give you an offer. I was like, damn, dude,
Dude,
I'm
I
killing it.
so I'm good friends with I don't know. Did you ever meet Scott Chase? I don't think so. My old boyfriend
Never,
from
never
back in.
met him.
This guy is I love Scott. He's an old friend, but he is absolutely shit at interviews. Like
Yeah.
he's ruined multiple interviews. You know what I mean? And I've talked to him about this. And I've also talked to like the HR people here at school who do all the interviews and stuff. And you know what they tell me? They say 80% are terrible. Like 8 out of 10 people are awkward, awful. They give a bad impression. Their personalities stink. So I think the second somebody even has a modicum of charm, automatic you're in. And you know what? Anytime there's been an interview for anything, I've always fucking knocked it out of the park. It's in the DNA, man. We got it. We preachers and lawyers, dude.
Formal and with like very appropriate academic answers, unless I'm prepared, has gotten me in the past. Like
Mm,
now I think with the burden of having to like prove myself for some stupid piece of paper, I'm so laid
yeah,
back. It's just like
yeah.
it's easier. I can do it now. I couldn't do it before. Yeah.
Because the academic shit is so. I've been teaching for so long. I've really grown to hate all
It's
academic
fucking
shit.
horrible shit.
It's all just dick measuring. I got a degree from you. I understand this methodology, and I've read this book, and blah 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 blah. Never gets to the actual fucking thing that you care about. Like, are you a good therapist, or do you know how to fucking teach? You know what I mean? The only thing they've ever cared about are the credentials. And I think you're finally to that point where, all right, can you do this fucking job? Can you fucking enter a prison? Can you talk to these fucking savages out here?
Dude,
Like, that's all they care about.
how important that is, man. I had the one university I worked at in Thailand, it was an American one. There was this one professor there who truly was like, dude, why aren't you at like a fucking, maybe even Ivy League? Like, just like you are
Mm,
brilliant and you're in
yeah.
Thailand and you hung out with him. And he was such a prick. And he was a prick to
Ah,
everybody. I'm smarter than you. I'm better than you. And just laugh in your
yeah.
face. And it's like I think he knew it, but he couldn't help it. Like he couldn't help it. Yeah. And it's like, I see what you're here. See what you're here, man.
Something else that's been happening is like, with all the AI shit, I've heard that recruiters, they just use AI for every single job. Like they just do it to filter, they do it to respond to emails, everybody does it for
Yep.
their resume and all that sort of stuff. So the fact is you're getting a million of the same chat GPT shit coming in and out,
They know
but
everything.
what's it?
Yep.
Yes. So, but the interesting thing is, even though we see the rise of this, the human element is more valued than ever. So the interview is the most important part where you're actually showing off that you are a human being, that you are distinct from all this other shit. I see it over and over and over again. That's the only thing people are going to care about soon. Are you a fucking human? Because everybody's fucking sick of interacting with these goddamn machines.
And you know what? The younger generation's got nothing. They got nothing.
Nothing. It's true.
Nothing.
I see it. You should see r/teachers, man, on Reddit. That'll make you want to kill yourself, dude. That's the
Maybe that'll make you feel
score.
better, you know? Oh,
It
maybe.
does sometimes. It makes me very grateful to be in China because they talk apparently like just kids just straight up don't read anymore. Like they just stopped. There's no fucking point,
No, audio.
like 12th grade, exactly. 12th grade, they don't read anything, all that stuff. They just push them through to the next grade, crazy behavior problems and all that. And I'm just like, oh, I'm glad I'm out. I'm
Au-
glad
Au-
I'm out.
Austin is on this podcast.
I'm
The
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for the day you're just like, you guys have spoke enough, and then just start ranting about, something ridiculous.
It's gonna happen. I took a nap and I like fell into a super deep sleep, so I'm still coming out of it. But Dean, yeah, American teachers are in a rough spot. I was listening to a podcast. Dude said in the like Baltimore area, there was a large number of schools where not one student had proficiency in like math or reading. Like you had kids in like the 12th grade who were basically, dyslexic, not dyslexic, but could not read a sentence or a paragraph and then tell you what it was about. So, maybe I don't think it's the way you describe it. It sounds like the Chinese are still holding it together academically, but you said that AI is still taking over where you're at as well.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think? It doesn't matter because I'm going to become a parasite on Chase. And everything's going to be all right, man. Once he makes it big, I'll just latch myself right onto that butt cheek and I don't have to worry about anything, man. It's all good.
You know what though? I respect that. If that's how it plays out,
Yeah.
you had to do that. You're straight up about it, so it's okay. All right. Yeah.
I remember last year we had this kid. He was just, I think he's probably the greatest student I've ever taught. This kid was a true genius. Like he's off in Princeton right now, doing amazing things and all that. But he had a best friend, this kid, and the kid was okay. Like he wasn't like a genius or anything like that. He was all right and stuff. And I remember talking to him. I was like, "So what are you gonna do with college?" And he's like, "Following Chris." I was like, what do you mean? He's like, he's going to New Jersey. I'm doing the shitty school next to him. I'm going to latch onto him. I'm going to be a parasite
Hmm.
for the rest of my life on him. And I was like,
That is a life approach.
smart,
Yep.
smart,
Yeah,
smart.
flaws.
Because you know what? This kid was the genius was like, he was a nice kid, a good kid, but he's awkward. He's trusting. The other kid, he's cooler, got the charm. It's a good combo. And you know what? I respected it. That is a life plan, man. Smart, very smart,
Smart. Smart. So it's the
Yeah.
Robin move. It's the Robin mindset, you know?
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
You
That's
got
the
to
way to
wear the
be.
gay underwear, but who cares? You're hanging out with Batman.
Listen, I'm happy to be the gay one here. That's totally fine with me. Chase, you want to be the Dark Knight? No problem. I will tag along. I will be your Chris O'Donnell, man. No problem.
Right on.
It's
Yeah.
also the Epstein model. They released. We talked about this last time, but it was like his 50th birthday journal or something. Like all these people wrote into, and like a lot of them were nerds and like high level academics that were signing this book.
I would
And
have
I think
signed it.
that's
I would have signed. I would have left a great note. Best time I ever had. My future. I met
Would
my
you draw a
future wife
picture?
here. Thank you. I love you.
Would you draw a picture? Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Draw Epstein with a tiny little penis fucking a girl.
Two guys sword fighting. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's a little sword fighting picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go for that. Yeah. I was talking to a buddy last night, my buddy Fernando, who still sometimes listens and stuff. And he was telling me about he was like, Dean, I had a wet dream about you last night. And I felt so honored.
Yeah.
That was like a great
Yep.
feeling. Oh, thank you. Thank you, buddy, who I haven't seen in years and stuff. And he's like, I know you just showed up and I don't know what happened. And I was like, yeah, listen,
Dude, let me.
that's a
You know how
sneak
many
up on.
people have got that compliment in their life? Probably less than
Not many.
five. I mean, if
Yeah.
people act like, "Oh, I get
Yeah.
offended," dude. If somebody tells you that, you just like, "Damn, you are good enough looking to have a wet dream about." That is, you're doing okay
How
in
would a
life.
woman how would a woman take it if she found out that you jerked off to her?
Well, that's.
Like, let's not say you came up to her and
I
said, like,
think
I
that
jerk off to you,
no, no,
but you
no,
just found out. You
Dean.
know what I mean?
That's the ideal woman. That's the test. If you go, "Hey,
Ah.
last night I had a wet dream about you, man. I just exploded in my pants." If they said, "Wow, I'm flattered," keep her, keep her.
See, the wet dream, that's way more innocent than jerking off because jerking off is intentional, but a wet dream, it just happens to you. Like, listen, I got assaulted by your beauty. It's affecting my dreams, man. It's in my unconscious, like that. Yes, I think that is a bit more potent. You
Assaulted
know?
by your beauty? Where have you heard that before? That's brilliant.
I know, right? Yeah, I've got some Shakespeare going on. I
That's
want to know
good.
about Native women. Have you ever seen are there any attractive Native American people, Chase?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah,
The
this is an
Hawaiian
interesting
ones
question.
were all on Oahu.
Uh,
Yeah, and not on the other islands. I'll say that.
Saw some rough looking
Oh,
Hawaiian
like a
women.
Pocahontas chick or something. That was my favorite Disney one. I thought
Yeah,
she was smoking hot. Her and Jasmine. Those were the hottest chicks in Disney.
that could be interesting, man. And then she's like, I can only date you if you enter the tribe. And then you have to do all these
Oh,
rituals and stuff.
dude, you gotta love this. You guys are both gonna love this. So on my website, I got a parapsychology. Parapsychology is like as an interest. It's like anything outside the
Oh,
norm,
uh,
spiritual, cryptoid, aliens. And they
yeah,
asked me
yeah.
about it in the interview.
Oh, those Indians are gonna love that shit, man. You know it. Absolutely. New Mexico. Fuck yeah.
And I was trying to give a proper answer. I was like, dream states, or sometimes they see dead relatives, and sometimes they, encounter like a cryptoid, and they're like, "You mean like Bigfoot?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And they're like, "I have
Oh.
seen it." And I was like, "Oh, no way,
They
man."
love it.
They
They
love it.
already know it.
It
Oh
was
my god.
fantastic. It was
Oh,
great.
Chase, I think you found the job, man. I'm sorry. I think that's the
I
one.
didn't want to say
Fuck.
it, but they said it for me. I looked it up. They always have sightings on that reservation. It's interesting.
Oh shit, dude. That let me one of the greats. This is one of my great go-to conversations in life. I know how to read tarot cards. I had a deck in Italy that I found, and I've had this deck with me my whole life. And every now and then I'll bring it to a party or something, and I'll read people's deck. It's always fun. But I have a speech that I give about Carl Jung and tarot cards and how it's used as like a psychological test. So it's this great thing where people are like, yeah, tarot cards. And I was like, yes, but they use it in psychoanalysis. And I kind of explain, all the cards are going to be true in you. And when I do that, you can see it gives people permission to believe. You know what I mean? And so even if you don't believe in Bigfoot or aliens or tarot cards or whatever, if somebody with supposed authority gives you permission to say, actually, you can think about this a little bit, everybody enjoys it. Everybody wants to play the game. It's a great way to get people to hang out, to bond. Awesome, awesome way, So Chase, Bigfoot, that's where I'd start every session, like, so what you seen out there,
I
man?
would, I would, as quick as I could. Yeah, yeah. You having problems with your wife? Take walks in the evening. You ever see anything out there? What do you?
Hmm.
It's just immediately
So
change
she's your wife.
topics. Don't worry about your
Mm.
marriage. Fuck that shit. What have you seen out
Oh my god. Oh my God, Chase. I see you living in a Walter Rupp White RV, out there in the middle of nowhere and just collecting interesting shit, like things in jars and like you drive out to see him out in the middle of the desert and sit and I'm here to
Dean,
talk to you about
what's the
sighting.
coolest thing you've ever seen in a jar on a shelf?
Do you remember
I think I know what you're gonna
Uncle
say.
Doc?
Yes,
Uncle, he had the snakes
the
in the jars.
rattlesnakes.
They were
Yeah.
super cool. I remember as a kid thinking, "This is awesome, man." Yeah, they were all wrapped up in there. That was
Austin, our one successful great uncle. It was cool. We
yep,
never get to see him enough. He built the farm down there, but on this
yep.
barn, he had this porch. He was always rocking. And if you go in there, he had his sweet tea or his fucking whiskey, and he had these jars of these snakes, each one bigger than the next, and they were preserved with their mouth. I killed that one. That fucking thing tried to get me. I'm like, oh, this guy's so cool, man. He was so cool. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a porch with jars of snakes on it if you're in Alabama. Makes sense with a rocking chair and a shotgun.
Chase, let's do this, man. All right, I have to do this. So let's say you get the big money, like you put in a few years and you got a huge chunk saved up. What are you gonna build, man? Hmm? Well, where is this? Where? Because let's face facts. One day that you will build your own Oneana. You will build your own little compound because you've talked about it for years and years. But now it's fucking possible. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Where's it gonna be?
I don't know. I don't know if it would be like
Options.
having
That's the other option.
options or one option.
Okay.
What's better? Is it better to rotate? It's hard to say.
Mm.
Super hard to say.
I
Oh,
can tell you I'm going to do my best to secure an Asian place. That is one goal I can honestly say I will do in my life. I will secure an Asian locale somewhere,
an Asian
So
location.
that'll be something. Somehow I'll fucking figure it out, man.
Well,
You know.
you're gonna have to do it sooner rather than later. And Austin, I've been curious to get your thoughts on because Dean, if you haven't been paying attention, this country is descending deeper. It's interesting because I thought it was going to fall apart under Biden, but it's almost
Yeah.
confirmed that something,
Oh yeah.
nothing short of civil war is going to happen very, very soon, man.
Last night I was entering in my meditation diary. It's a Google Doc, that I share with Austin and Bobby. And just at the exact same moment, Bobby was there, you know, and I was just like, "Hey, Bobby, how you doing, man?" And immediately, like, this country is fucked. We're all going to die. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm just entering out my meditation, man. I'll pray for you, brother." He's like, "This country's so fucked." I was like, "Oh man, it must be rough in America right now." I don't really know what's going on. Charlie Kirk's the last thing I heard, but I hear it's rough, man. Rough.
It's rough when you cannot escape it. When people that never talk about politics, then yeah.
Luckily for me and you, we are outside of that gun range, man. Thank
Yeah, how are
God. I'm
things
sorry.
back there, Austin? What's going on? And
Yeah.
what's the
Look, man, people can, be alarmist all they want, but I walk the streets of Huntsville and nobody's shooting each other around there, as far as I can tell. Are you guys following the unfolding Charlie Kirk saga? Have you guys been keeping up with that?
I think I am. What is there anything changed?
I will say this that I am fucking very suspicious of those texts. Those did you read the roommate text, Chase?
The ones that like, hey, I'm doing this for you, baby, or something bullshit like that.
The words he uses are like, "There's a vehicle going around here, and I'm going to hide the gun from my old man. And my love, I am so grateful that you caught me. Did I kill Charlie Kirk? Yes, I killed Charlie Kirk. It is true. I put the gun here." Blah, blah. This guy's 22 years old. I don't know a single 22-year-old who fucking talks like that ever. It was very suspicious. But anyways, Austin, what do you think, man?
Yeah, that's a good point. People are saying it sounds like the FBI wrote those confessions or AI wrote it. And I agree. This dude is a meme lord. He wrote memes on bullets, apparently. And then in his text messages, he sounds like a 45-year-old man. And not even that, like nobody talks like that. It's very off-putting and it's very sound feels very artificial. And I've been watching a lot of different videos, and what's going around right now is there's a view would be from Charlie's left side, a little distance away. There's a camera, and it captures a flash at the exact same time that the sound of the shot is fired, and it's from where Charlie is sitting. It's basically to his right and kind of a little bit behind it. But there's a lot of speculation that that's where the actual uh, gun that killed Charlie was fired from. And I was watching this guy. He was a Navy SEAL, and he was like, a 30-06 at that distance is going to be a lot louder. And he also said he heard reverberations that were indicative of a shot that was fired inside of a room or inside of a building. And I watched the video, and there is definitely a flash at about the exact milliseconds that the shot is heard.
Do you think
And
there's this much planning that goes into this? Come on. I mean, this is so deep into. Do you are you leaning this is true or you're truly in the middle? I can't tell. What's your take on this?
well, did you guys see the footage that they showed of this guy walking up to the top of the building? Like, where does this guy have his gun? There's speculation that he put it together, but there are problems with that hypothesis, right? So either he's holding it in his pants, this 30-06, like this basically it's a hunting rifle, or it's disassembled in his backpack, which is what a lot of people said. But the Navy SEAL was like, there's problems with that too, because when you put a gun back together, you change its firing characteristics and you have to re-zero it, and that includes just taking the scope off of it. uh, when you
Maybe
take a gun.
maybe that's why you hit him in the neck. I don't think anybody's aiming for the neck. You're aiming for the head.
Well, yeah. One question I have, Austin, did this guy talk about the angle or the trajectory of the bullet? Because what I was thinking, I've only seen the OG video like weeks ago or whatever. It looks like he got hit in the side front of the neck, like where there's clearly a jugular that got hit. And I just assume that that's a natural trajectory from a bullet up on a roof in front of the stage, you know?
Mhm.
So if is this light lining up with the trajectory of the bullet?
Um, it's possible, but it depends if that's an entry or an exit wound. And people are saying the blood that was coming out of the front left of the neck could have been an exit wound. And they did make the
Wouldn't
good
that have hit
point.
somebody in the crowd?
Well, possibly, but not necessarily. And
Huh.
they're saying that a 30-06 at that range is a very powerful bullet. It has a lot of power behind it. They think the exit wound for that shot would be the size of a fist.
All right,
Say,
who's taking him out then, Austin? Let's just get to the juicy shit. Who's the one causing or calling the hit?
well, there's a lot of speculation,
Huh?
but you're not going to believe who people are pointing the finger at this point.
Is
Tanzanians?
it the Jews? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, people are okay. Okay, so Charlie Kirk took a lot of money from Israelis, and if you want, and I, when the first podcast we talked about it, I was like, there's videos going around of him like being an uncritical supporter of Israel and what's happening over there, and apparently. Right about the time that this occurred, he was doing like a real crazy turnabout where he was like criticizing Israel, and that's why a lot of people are speculating that maybe, I mean, I think it's a leap to say that Israel did this, but then you have Netanyahu coming out like right after the fact. Have you seen what he had said about the Charlie Cook
Oh, he's like he
Kirk thing?
texts like he's my close friend, and he has. See, I love Candace Owens because I got really into the Bridget McCrone thing, and Candace Owen is on a fucking like carpet bombing, burn every, because apparently her and Charlie Kirk were
They
close.
toured,
Like
man. They toured
real,
together. Yeah.
yeah, they were like friends, deep friends. And she called out Netanyahu because Netanyahu says, I have this letter where he says, I love and support the people of Israel. And she's like, read the rest of the fucking letter because I know what he said in that letter, which is, I love and support the people of Israel, but your government has gone too far. And apparently there was this meeting in the Hamptons, which Bill Ackman, famous Epstein Island man, Bill Ackman, apparently was at, where he told Charlie Kirk, we are going to donate hundreds of millions of dollars to TPUSA if there is a 100% support of Israel policy. And apparently Charlie Kirk refused. And this is why Dave Smith was invited to TPUSA or whatever it's called, so he could debate on behalf of the anti-Israeli side,
Well, let me let me let
And
me, let me say this. Can I just? We all know they're running the show now, guys. This is the hypothetical. Israel comes to all three of us. We're in positions of power, which will happen at some point. They're like, all right, Chase, Dean, Austin, independently, look, you're going to side with Israel. We're going to give you a whole bunch of money, and if not, well, that could be a problem. Now, what are you going to do, Austin? What are you going to do?
I'd like to think I wouldn't take the money because you're really making a deal with the devil. You're
yes,
pretty
he'd
much
like to
controlled.
think. He would like to think.
That's not much
Yes.
of an answer.
Like
Yeah.
to think.
Is
Yeah.
is that a yes or a no? What is that?
Look, Chase, I can't predict the future, man. You know,
I fucking can.
Yes.
Dean, what about you? What would you do, Dean?
I think I take the money. How could you not take the money? I mean, listen to you, Chase. Earlier, you're talking about I'm willing to work at Shankton prison for $400,000. I mean, come on, come on.
Well,
Like I'm not a moral, upstanding person yet.
I am
Okay.
I'm taking the money because I you
Yeah.
can't they run shit. And look, it's hard to get on top. And when you get on top, whoever it is, you do whatever you can to stay on top. I'm not taking down Israel. I don't want to go to a war with this. So if they want me as an ally, sure, go ahead, pay me. I wouldn't want to cross it because I'd be dead quick. Be dead real
Here's
quick.
the issue with Kirk, though. He already had the money and the power and the
Sure.
influence. He
Well,
did.
maybe that's why he said fuck off.
And
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, I'm convinced he probably would have been the natural replacement for Trump. I think that there's
Likeable. He's a
nobody
good
else who could
kid.
come. Yeah,
It's likable.
debate anybody, that sort of thing.
Never
And
cussed. Christian.
I believe that no one. There's really once Trump is gone, there's no one to replace him. No
Dude,
one. So
I had a,
I
I got a short today of him throwing a football, Charlie Kirk,
yeah.
like a fucking NFL quarterback. He
Are
was
you
a
impressed? It was a good throw, huh?
he was a high school quarterback. He was good. Like
No
colleges were
shit.
looking at this kid can throw. Made me
It
respect him
doesn't
so much
look
more.
like.
No,
This looks like a. I'm shocked by that.
he's got
He
a
looks like just
cannon.
a normal.
Cannon.
Wow.
I'll send you the video.
Damn.
It's fucking impressive. Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Isn't that weird how like something like that can really impress you about
If a
somebody?
guy
Like,
can't throw a
I don't know
ball,
about their
I won't vote
politics,
for
but
him. I wouldn't vote for him.
a perfect spiral right
Nah,
into
but
this.
it's got to look at least coordinated to some degree. You know,
Mhm.
if I found out somebody dropped a pass to win the city title in middle school, I wouldn't vote for him.
One of my kids, I never really thought about him much. He's just kind of quiet and stuff like that. Saw him play ping pong the other week. He's fucking dominated. Like getting far away from the table and smacking it hard and stuff like that. And you know what?
Respect.
I respect him a little bit more. I give him a little credit every time, just like, maybe I'll give him maybe instead of -2, -1. Now for this thing, There's something about those.
It's well deserved. You should do that. That's good teaching.
let's not get too far off topic here because I've been kind of deep into this, so I want to get this last thing out. There's a very quick picture or at the video that there's still frames from it of a guy leaving the event that he looks like he's wearing a high level or a high grade mask. Have you seen the picture of this guy?
I don't know how you get so deep. Do you let these ideas percolate? Like to me, is he a plant? Was he brainwashed? I'm pretty sure he pulled the trigger. Like I don't think it's some secret guy standing on the side, but I mean, was he planted there? I don't know. Do you believe all this, or is it just possibility?
It's not that I believe that he was or was not the shooter, but I think it's fascinating, and especially that video I was talking about. It's very compelling, and when you have people that were professional snipers saying that the shot, there was viable alternatives that could have occurred, then it's very compelling. And then you have pictures or video of some dude leaving the scene with a rubber glove on and what looks to be a mask.
What
I don't know if
I was
the
gonna
the
that BlackRock commercial with that kid that tried to kill Trump. That
mm,
still shakes me. I'm just like, you just manipulated an idiot and tried to teach him how to shoot, and he didn't learn quite good enough. And this guy had an academic scholarship. He's not stupid. Somebody got in his head. They twisted it,
Austin,
and he shot him, I think.
I want to know, Austin. Just be honest with me. Do you feel like you connected with the shooter?
not at all. No.
I mean, Discord, and another gay man, a guy who is clearly intelligent, maybe a little bit socially awkward and stuff. I was looking at this, I was like, you know what? This sounds like an Elrod to me. So I
He
was
could be a
curious if
cousin. He
you had,
looks similar. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. I think it's kind of like that. So, did you have any empathy for this particular guy?
Uh, yeah, basically none because what I believe. So I think Discord and these social media apps, they're looking for people. They're combing the internet, and at the FBI, CIA, Israel is keeping an eye out for vulnerable youth. And they get into their heads. And I've been listening to a lot of this guy named Chase Hughes. He's in the military and like psyop stuff for like 20 years. He was on Rogan somewhat recently, but he like published a book where, and probably they use a lot of the same methodology. It's like, here are things that people need. Here are like fundamental human needs, and here are the masks that people wear, and here are the vulnerabilities that certain people have. And if you know a person's vulnerabilities and you have the ability to like put up these certain things like uh, whatever it might be, like authority or whatever, like you can absolutely influence people to do things. One of the things that he brought up with a psychology experiment, and this is one of the motivators, is like, does the group think it's a good idea, or do you perceive the group as like going in a certain direction? There's like 6 people, 8 people, and there's two lines that are next to each other along with other lines. And so everyone in front of you, let's say there's 7 people, and every single person agrees that these two lines are the same size, right? The guy at the end, like 95% of the time, will agree like the line is the same, the same length, right? It's like there are definitive ways to manipulate people. That's just one. The other one is the experiment we've already talked about with the authority. Is another way to influence people, like keep shocking them because the authority tells you to,
What,
because he's in a white
what,
coat.
that's that one with the line experiment. They did it where in that experiment the lines were very close. Like you had to look hard to see that there was a little bit of a difference. And about, yeah, I think it's like 95% of the time people agreed. When there's a variation where it's quite clear that one is much different than the other, it dropped significantly. So the issue has to be a bit ambiguous. Like it has to be up for interpretation. But if it's like, hey, we want you to kill somebody, and it's like, nah, man, I ain't do it. But if it's something that's more subtle, then the odds skyrocket. Skyrocket.
Have you seen the show where they see if they can convince a guy to kill somebody at a party, like push him off a building?
That's not a good idea for a show. The suicide rates after that would probably be fucking off the charts. It's not good.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it. I actually didn't have a chance to look at that. But Chase, I mean, he makes a very compelling point that, like, if you really know how to manipulate people, and he says it's not even really that hard, you just have to understand human psychology and human needs and like these various pressure points. Like,
Could be an
could
expert like myself.
yeah, exactly. Your colleagues would be doing to this guy. I think it's perfectly reasonable to say that he could have been co-opted to be a patsy. Like maybe he took the shot, maybe he didn't. But I like keeping an open mind about this kind of thing.
So let me ask you about
Can I
this.
just
So,
say,
oh, go ahead, Dean. Go ahead.
I just want to say very quickly, I saw that pass, Chase, and that was legit.
That
That
was
was a
a
fucking
that was an NFL fucking that was a
that was
fucking
amazing.
throw. God
Now, I
damn.
wasn't expecting that. Like, I thought you were going to just show me like a little pass, like a little 5 yard pass or something. No, that was a Hail Mary.
Did
And he
Char
was he ran the route and everything. It was right smack in
Dude,
there. I was like,
Charlie
damn.
Kirk looks like a fucking just uncoordinated, like engineering type dude. You know, it's just that
Especially there, he looked like a little bony motherfucker. I was like, this little nerd, he's not going to be able to do any. Yeah,
this is a
it was
perfect
perfect.
pass, like 50
I was
yards. Beautiful. Yeah,
that's a future president of the United States right there.
I would have
But
voted for him.
that on another timeline, that damn, that's how you win
You
right
throw a
there. Shit.
spiral like that, you're gonna get a lot of votes from a lot of guys like me.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Oh
highly
my God.
educated men
Go
like
ahead,
myself.
Chase.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have
Well,
to give you
there
credit on
was
this apology.
another Austin. I'm sure you heard of this today because I heard of this today. So there was a black kid found hung on a all black university in Mississippi in a tree. And it looks like a suicide, but everybody's making it. It's been ruled a suicide, but they're going to do it their own autopsy. If this isn't ruled a suicide, which it's just, this could go really bad really quickly. It could cause God knows what. It's just like Charlie dies and a black guy's hanging from a tree in Mississippi. So it's just odd how these things happen sometimes. And it's just, it all feels choreographed and tensions rising and people are yelling at you in Google Docs for no reason. And you just don't know what's going to happen.
Huh. I looked up the show. It's called The Push. It was on Netflix. 3 out of the 4 people push this guy off a
Well,
building.
have you heard about that black guy in Mississippi though? Did you hear about that story?
I did hear about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't really look into it. Do you think he might have just hung himself, or
So this is interesting. Who do you think has the highest suicide rates for young men? If you had to guess, what race?
That's a good question. Um, like per capita or like
In America,
in total?
yeah.
Can I
White
say like
white
Native
men.
Native Americans? Like
Oh, fuck, maybe Native Americans. Yeah,
What
actually.
as a whole, like if we include men, women, all ages, white men have the highest suicide rates. But young men, it's Native American. The lowest are
Mhm.
black. What do you think the means of killing themselves is for the Native American man? What do you think they choose to do?
I think we talked about this with Hawaii. Was it like hanging again? Like it's like the classic.
Suffocation. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just a cheap way to do it. You know, so like, why do they do this? They can't afford a gun. If they don't have a gun, you don't want to pull the trigger, you can just hang yourself. But it is predominant in the Native American communities. Black men have the lowest suicide rates, and when they do, it's usually by gun. But number two is suffocation. So this is a means that people without a gun choose to do, especially men. So I don't know, man.
I wonder why black people have the lowest suicide. Because you would think, with the poverty
Ego.
and
I think it's
ah,
there's a very large ego in the African American man, and
stigma, you gave up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, white guys have the highest. That does not surprise me at all. Adults,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
brutal.
Yep.
Getting told you're the fucking problem with the world every day. That could be
Man,
it.
Chase, dude, you got to get some sun, man. You need to get some sun so that
Dude,
they will
I am
believe.
tan as hell. It's just the lighting in here. I'm in the sun every day.
What? Oh, all right, if you say so, man.
I am.
You
I'm a
like it.
tan motherfucker, man. You can't.
I guess because in my mind, tan is U30A. Like 30A Chase. That's fucking tan. That's like the sun
Sun
bathes you
bleached.
for years. Yeah, that wasn't
Nothing better than being sun bleached. You know, you need to know how you look best in life. You got to know what your hair looks like best, and you got to know what your skin tone looks like best. And I'm a sun bleached type of child. Yeah.
yeah,
Austin,
yeah,
at
man.
this brand, I like Austin best with long hair, I think.
Yeah, I agree, Austin. You should get the long hair back, dude. I saw you with the hat out off. It was looking a little sling bladey. You know what I mean? Like,
Where are the
I think
taters? Are you eating taters?
yeah, I mean, I think that any philosophy sort of dude, like Bobby, you know what I mean? They should have like the long flowing hair sort of look. I think there's something noble about it.
I like Dawson like that. When did you cut it? How long did you have it long for, too?
I mean, it was long for a few months. So I cut it like a couple of days ago, and one of the first photographs, I think it was Scott Rourke. Sorry, I didn't mean to say his last name, but it was nothing bad on him. But I came into town and we took a photograph together and sent it to my brother's girlfriend, and she said it looked like a serial killer. And I can see that. Sometimes I catch a look at myself, a pale white man, just kind of generic looking. I really do look like an assassin or something. I totally get that.
You look more like
Oh,
a
dude,
serial killer right now.
I was looking at that Utah guy. I was like, this is Austin, 100%,
Yeah,
man. Like, I was like kind of skinny white guy. You know, you're not Mormon, but you're kind of close. You know what I mean? Like, there's just you into weird shit. You probably have one pair of underwear that you wear all the time, something like that. You know, but otherwise, that's why I asked if you had if that feeling of connection. You know,
Realistically, we probably could have hung out. I mean, we probably did have a few things in common. But ultimately, so this is like my point. This is what Chase Hughes said. He said, we are like the powers that be want people to commit political violence so that we can be further divided. So I think ultimately, if the dude did commit the assassination, he's just a stooge. Like, you're not protecting anybody, you're not reinforcing your side's point. You're just furthering political divisions that are ultimately set in place for the elites to steal everyone's power and their money. I think that's all. Like, I think like whether I don't think it's a good thing, but I think ultimately like it wasn't even a good thing for his side, because like now you're just furthering the political divide and the confusion and the anger and the emotional thinking, this kind of like mass psychology. And like that is under those are the circumstances in which authoritarianism and all these things that we don't want to happen are going to take place. So yeah, that's like my ultimate view. I don't really know who killed Charlie Kirk, but it's like either it was orchestrated or it's like 9/11. Never let a good tragedy go to waste, like whether it was allowed to happen or not.
true.
Like you have people waiting in the wings, like, oh, great, more political division. Let's make a lot of news about this. Let's make people hate
Austin.
each other.
Listen, man, we can talk about how fucked America is, but what about how good life could be for us? Yeah. Listen, I'm in China. I got my life here. Chase is about to be a big baller. How the fuck are you gonna get out of there, man? All right. It's time we get you out of this nonsense and get you on the right track. All right. Let's not talk about politics. Let's talk about the happy future of Mr. Elrod. Yeah. How are we gonna get this fixed? Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Uh, I don't have any concrete plans. I was just kind of gonna wait until the country was burning down around me and just kind of like take part in whatever that's gonna be like.
Oh, there you go.
What do you
This
do, man? You're in a burning house, like whatever.
this is so refreshing to me in a lot of ways because this is with the Me Too shit, with the George Floyd bullshit. The liberals were canceling people left and right. Now it's like flipped. And it's like, this truly is the bipolar shit in America. I didn't think it would flip. The conservatives would start canceling people. Conservatives don't give a fuck anymore. And the liberals are getting to the point where they don't give a fuck anymore. A lot of people are getting caught up in this shit. And then there's people like me. I was like, I don't fucking care. It
Yeah.
is, it's fascinating how bipolar, like one manic episode, depressive episode, that is America. And it just teeters. It always
Mhm.
teeters. I don't think it's going to civil war, but I do think it's fucking heightened right now, and fucking
Yeah.
lunatics are getting upset on both sides. And it's like, oh, we always do this. This is America. This is have your place outside of America just in case. But just know, America ain't doing much. It's just fucking teetering off and on. Manic, depressive, manic, depressive, manic, depressive. Fucking nuts.
Chase, have you ever been into Middle Eastern girls?
Jasmine from Disney was fucking stunning. I have seen some beautiful Indian women, and I equate them similar.
All
So
right.
Persian, absolutely. I think they're probably, but like not too hairy. Some of those fuckers are hairy as fuck. No, thank you.
Look at the picture I just sent you. I was hanging out with these three girls yesterday. They're all former students. You know, any of them appealing to you, or maybe
Those
not.
are
We'll
not
see.
Middle Eastern girls. Those are Chinese girls.
Yes, but they all live in Dubai.
Oh,
That's why.
nah,
Yeah.
they're very plain.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Okay.
ones
All
like
right.
you could
Fair
get
enough.
like a
Fair
6 or a
enough.
6.5. That's pretty honest,
Whew.
isn't it?
All right. All right. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know the
So,
bodies, and I doubt they have bodies. I doubt it.
okay. Well, because I was about to say, like, the other problem with America is you're not going to find love there. You know, I just don't think so, man. Like, I think that your lady is in a country far away.
Dude,
You
all
know,
right, well, like, you know what the cool thing is? Well, at least the appeal. I romanticized Hawaii too much. Like, oh yeah. And you get there and like, oh, these people are broken. They're fucking retarded and
yeah.
broken. And then but with the natives, uh, I don't know the history. I'd like to know it more, but it's kind of people that developed internally more so than externally, you know?
Chase, you will be saying these people are retarded and broken
Yes, but
after
I'm
you
not going in holding them up on a pedestal. I'm going in with like they could be fucking retarded. They very well could be, but maybe there's something left. Maybe there's like some residual of like the spiritual realm. Because I did meet two or three Hawaiian people that had something. Like
yeah.
they had prophetic dreams. They had visions. Only two. And I believed them. Like they weren't
I,
crazy. They still had it. So I wonder if they still got it. Or at least one of them's got it, maybe with the native.
back in my, I think I've told the story, but back in my history graduate school stuff, the coolest professor I ever had, Dr. Catherine, she was a little native girl. She was like 5'1", itty bitty thing, but super dark skin and just sexy, like just sexy, man. Like exuded sexiness, but she was real cool. Like she had a deep voice, so she's like this sexy little thing. Be like, all right, did you guys fucking read, and stuff like. I was like, whoa, whoa, and she was like all into the Dakota Indian. She did all this shit on the Dakotas and stuff, and she was like a native Dakota. And I was like, she was one of the sexiest people ever. It could be the history angle, but who knows, man? There might be like a woman hanging out in a teepee just waiting for you, man.
It's a big
Could be.
advantage you got. A historian
Yeah.
can be sexy. You start rattling off some cool stories from the past. That's a great skill to have. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
She was married to another professor who was 40 years her senior.
Hmm.
40. 40. Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
and then apparently it's like, I admire his mind. Also admired his money too. But still, like I respected her, man. She was cool. She was cool. Yeah.
So Austin,
I don't know.
I want to bring Austin back into this here because he is, Austin, what is your prediction for the future of America? Do you think this chaos is going to amplify? Does it die down? Does it just kind of fizzle out, or do you see this ending in civil war at some point?
Hmm. Yeah,
Your colleague
yeah,
in crime on your podcast seems to think it might end in civil war.
colleague in crime. I think it could potentially, because like Dean was saying, I think there's like a dialectical movement of you're moving back and forth to extremes, and it's just like getting worse and worse. I think it's predicated on the idea that do are people waking up to the fact that they're being manipulated on a large scale? What
Y-
might even
I
am I
think
breaking
that's
up significantly on your side?
no, I think our programming now, I think you nailed it, is I don't trust what I'm told. I don't trust what I'm told. So whatever we're told right now, nobody trusts it. So I agree with you on that perspective, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, I said I was having low bandwidth for a second. But yeah, I think I get a lot of comfort because it seems like people are awakening in mass. Like people are not convinced when the media just put spin on things and tries to turn people against each other. I feel like generally a lot of people are becoming wise to the fact that they are being manipulated and programmed. So that it's all predicated on like this mass movement. Are people really going to wake up to that?
No, I don't think so. I think they know. I think they're aware now that people don't trust anything they say. So they just put a narrative out there and people run with it. Half the people believe Charlie Kirk was killed by a left-leaning person. Half believe it was fucking from his own party. Another portion believe it was something else. They just they throw a story out there and it distracts. And I don't know what they're doing while we're distracted. So
Don't you guys don't you guys get sick of talking about this shit? You know, like I don't know, man. It's been doom and
yes,
gloom for so long that I don't know. It's not interesting to me anymore. I find it tedious. You
you
know,
don't live in a society where this is constantly bombarded in your ears. You're in a
I
place
guess
where
so.
there's just one fucking station and everyone's like, yeah, all right, it's not that bad. Okay. Like, just do
I'll
what you
watch
need
the
to do.
news, but I mean, I
Dean,
don't know,
I
man.
I would
I'd
rather
rather
be in your
talk about.
energy. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. I find it to be like when you talk about the energy, right? I feel like when you're living in this shit, it just makes you a sadder, more depressed person, you know? But like that's just I could be wrong. Maybe people live with it no problem and they love talking about this shit, but I don't know, man. I just don't dig the energy that it cultivates. Yeah.
You mean like murder? Yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah, murder, doom, the end of the United States, civil war, government conspiracy is like horrible manipulations and lies all around. It's
It,
just like, damn, dude. It's
Well,
heavy.
it's the lowest form of existence to me is any type of government official. It's just like you're choosing to step into this, like intentionally thinking you're going to make the world better. Like you're retarded. You have to be a little slow in your head, or you have to have a massive ego. I don't understand it to any degree.
I will tell you, Dean. I I have to hold myself back from being too conspiratorial, and keep saying they. You know, I don't really know who they is, but it's like an easy way to kind of express myself. They want you confused. They want you in a state of fear and scarcity thinking. And they want you emotional, so that you just go along with whatever they put upon you. They call it like, it's not truly the Hegelian dialectic, but this is what all the conspiracy people say. The famous David Icke thing of problem, action, solution. And I do believe I can't stop myself from thinking that's what's occurring over and over and over. Orchestrated events, large scale events like 9/11, mass trauma events of different kinds, in which, where something terrible happens, everyone is put in a state of high emotional thinking, or low thinking, high emotion, and then a solution is offered that we would never accept if we were in our right minds. So I think like the Patriot Act and a lot of other stuff too. Now this could all be totally organic and totally just people taking advantage of things, but so you have different options, right? So either you're in a pendulum swing of being very emotionally fearful, and then you feel okay for a minute after some legislation's passed, and then something else happens and you're fearful. Or I think the other trajectory is that you learn how to be immune to the vicissitudes, of the world that we're in. And I've actually come to the conclusion that one of the books I want to recommend is one of the books by this guy Chase Hughes about manipulation and persuasion, because these are the very tactics that I think that are being used on us in mass. And I think that's one of the things you have to do, is like you have to learn how these people are manipulating us. And I think so. The other trajectory is self-knowledge and self-mastery, instead of being taken by the swings of society. So
Austin, is it bad that I want to be a part of the people that is manipulating? Like I want to be a part of the team. I want to be, counsel and be like, Chase, what should we do? How do we control these people? And I want to give my insight. Is that so bad? I always feel
uh,
like it's gonna happen, and you're in control or you're not. Yeah,
Dubai. That's where you'll meet them.
yeah,
Dubai.
right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
like
Advisor to the prince. I can see it now.
like the immortal Alex Jones. I'm pro-human. I think you want to be on that side. I think there's money in helping people free themselves from the chains of illusion, and like you could go either way, I guess. But okay, here's it. You want to work for the bad guys for like $1 million a year, or you want to work for the good guys for like
Whoa,
half
it's
a
not good
million
or bad. What
dollars?
if it's like the Chinese say it's the mandate of heaven? Like, all right, Israel's supposed to be in charge. It's the mandate of heaven. They're the ones that are going to take us to the promised land. If you think like that, then it's not so bad. If you think if it's bad and good, then it might cause a little schism in your mind, man. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's like again this kind of like very simplistic ways of thinking that I often find myself kind of thinking in terms of. Is like you have a trajectory towards totalitarianism, and you have a trajectory towards like universal human like the value of human life and individuality and all this stuff. It's like maybe that's not really how things work, but I kind of think that's like either you're on one side or the other, and you could be a stooge like an Eichmann. You're like, I never killed anybody. I just set the time for the trains to pick people up. Like, do you want to be on that side, or do you want to be on the side that's planting a suitcase bomb to kill Hitler? Like, which side do you ultimately want to be on?
Well,
And I think,
You're
I
assuming
don't,
that the Nuremberg side's going to win.
yeah, I don't want to be on the side that wants to sacrifice myself for some fucking retard. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do like I only think that the people that should survive, man. It's like you gotta have some benefit to the world. You gotta have some type of degree of intelligence. Like, not everybody can thrive, man. It's just how it is. We've done that shit for too long. Doesn't work.
yeah, that's funny. In that book, Eichmann in Jerusalem, people hated that book when it came out. It caused a huge stir because people thought she was implying that the Jews like didn't fight enough, or that they're in some way they're like in some way they were complicit in their own Holocaust, which to a degree I don't, I think we probably would have acted the same way in those situations. But do you not think more like grand scheme, more morality, future lives, God's judgment, like all this stuff comes into play. Like you can be on this side and be safe, or you can be on the other side and risk your life, like Schindler from Schindler's List. You want to be that guy? You could potentially be killed, but you could save a lot of lives. It's like, are you ever going to put yourself at risk? And how many people do you have to save before you put yourself and say, I'm willing to sacrifice myself for 1,000 people? Would that ever occur to you?
It's a tough question, man. Morality seeps through on all levels, you know. To me, I think much more of evolution. How do we evolve? How do we get off this planet? And it be a lot of people dying. There is. I can't think morality how to save my brother first, if they're worth it. But I mean, I have high standards and I don't group people together. Individually, I might. I could see myself doing that individually. I would sacrifice myself. But for a group, for the common man, fuck that. Fuck that. That hasn't worked. That hasn't worked. In fact, it's actually held us back in my opinion. It's like we got all types of offshoots now where it's just chaos. It's fucking chaos, man. There's no progression. There's no progression to the stars, and that's the direction we got to head at some point.
Yeah, I guess it comes down, man. Are you a Eichmann? Are you a Schindler? Or are you just some dude on the sideline just being like
Divine
whatever?
mandate from heaven. That's it. Whoever's in charge and pays me enough, then all of a sudden that morality starts to make sense. That's
That's how it is.
how it
What
is,
Dean?
man.
Dean's occupied.
I'm sorry.
Occupado.
I'm being texted by multiple people. Sorry.
Dean, we're trying to understand the degree of your moral fortitude. Would you
Yeah.
sacrifice yourself for a
Austin,
thousand people?
Austin struggles with his. Chase has no qualms whatsoever as long as there's a price tag on it. Where do you stand?
I ignore everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's better.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I find these conversations yeah, I'm just not interested, you know. Yeah,
I don't
I want to
understand
have a
what,
laugh and just joke about shit, you know. Yeah,
what the fuck lets people think that they can bitch and complain about politics out of the blue. Like, if you've got like a community where that's like everybody does that, go for it. But if you just do it just on a whim, like, are you fucking nuts? What's wrong with you, man? Like, what makes you think I'm going to agree with you? What makes you think I want to hear about it? I don't understand that. And I run into them way too much lately. Oh, man, have you seen? I'm like, yeah. So, did you see the game? It's like,
yeah. Let's talk about sports. That sounds more fun, you
God,
know.
but they don't want to, Dean. They want to bitch and they want to stay on one side. I'm like, these people are lunatics. These people are
Yeah.
insane. They'll never achieve enlightenment. They're just fucking clueless. They're clueless individuals.
Mm, mm, yeah. Is there any sports stuff going on, man? I haven't watched a football game in like 6 years. Any college, NFL, any of it, you
I
know.
Vic watches all the time. I watch it. You know, the interesting,
Yeah.
I stopped watching because of the flags. It's fun,
Flags?
but yeah,
Oh, yellow
there's
flags.
Dean, they control these games, man. I got no vested interest in either way, but it's like, hey, I can feel the flag. Yep, there's a flag. And then
Dude,
you see the
so
replay.
is gambling just totally legal everywhere now because of like DraftKings? It's
Yes.
all betting,
Yes.
right? So
Yes. You bet on anything.
oh
Anything.
man,
How many times the
how
coach
can
is
you
going to
not
touch
be
his
dirty as a ref?
nose? Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
How can a ref not be dirty? There's just no way. There's way too much money.
You know
You
what it is
know?
about the refs? It's lineal. Like, oh, my dad was a ref, and there's a
Oh, I didn't
union, and
know.
I became a ref. Like, this is entrenched. It is
Oh yeah.
completely controlled.
I
100%.
remember. Do you remember there was that NBA? This is a long time. There was an NBA ref called like Donovan or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And he was fucking, he was calling fouls when there was nothing because he was betting on they're all got to be betting. They all have
Yeah.
to be betting, man. Because I have so many friends who bet on all this shit. They bet on the plays. Like they bet on like, yeah, they're going to get 5 yards this play. They're going to be stopped this play. There's going to be a blitz this play. You can bet on anything. It's
You
unbelievable.
can't
Huh?
stop it. And I understand it because it gives you a sense of being alive. It can give you a fucking heart attack. But when you win, if you win a big bet, there's no better feeling. Like at
Mm.
least for that moment, life is fucking worth living. Like It's an
Yeah.
addiction that I can like. If I had an addiction in life, it's not going to be a drug. It's going to be the rush. Like, all right, I'm going to take
Yeah.
everything I've ever earned and put it on this game. Let's just, at least for a second, I'd feel alive, man. I
It is
totally,
interesting to think about like those true highs in life,
yes.
like the drugs, gambling, sex, but winning a bet is one of the great highs in life, because you're so much more invested in watching whatever you're watching. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It truly, it's like when your team's good at a sport, there's no more pride.
There,
You throw it in
you have
people's face. We're not, it's great to have in your back pocket. It's fantastic.
any fights coming up? It's been a long time, man. I haven't watched UFC in ages. Is anything worth watching?
Nah, I'll let you know when they do though. Yeah. Occasionally there's a good fight, but nothing like winning a big bet. They're that special. It's fucking special,
Mm.
man. Gambling.
Is it just me, or is like Ultimate Fighting kind of? I
Well,
don't know. I feel
well,
like it's been out of the news, man.
I gotta ask Austin this because to me, Austin, I say gambling. I liked cocaine. I like amphetamine. Anything that speeds me up, like a sense of being alive, is the closest I can come to feeling addicted to something. But for you, it was much more to slow down. Is that kind of the opposite direction? Yeah.
Uh, that's hard to say. It kind of depended on dosage because when you think of opioids as downers, but like oxycodone could be stimulating. It kind of did a little bit of
What do
everything
you
for
mean by
me.
that? How could it be stimulating?
It's known that's one of its effects that kind of like moderate doses of oxy were like do stimulate you. But ultimately, I think it is like you can be stimulated when you bring things down because when like you have ADHD, part of the reason like you don't do anything is because you're like overstimulated. So I would agree like generally drugs that calm me down or I prefer. But yeah.
Different preference.
Yeah, but what was the question?
Well, I, I, if I was going to get addicted to a feeling, it would be the rush of like a
Mhm.
victory or a high of like a winning a bet. For you, is much more to shut off the mind, to enjoy another state. We were heading in opposite directions for our preference.
Yeah, for sure. Like the ape, it's kind of funny because the movement for opioids is like unconsciousness, and the peak opioid state is like a dream, essentially a dream state. They call it nodding out, but you're not there, but you're kind of there, but you're
Yep.
extremely euphoric. It feels like it's like what it feels like to be like drifting off like right before you're about to fall asleep, like that comfort feeling. You kind of like forget your body exists. It's very nice. It's very soft and comforting and kind of like floating on water is like was the ideal opioid state. Yeah.
Well, I've been there. I've taken them. I've gotten high off that shit, and it is unbelievably soothing and comforting. I guess it to me like peak existence, for me like a rush, like winning a bet or winning a like that's the most I've ever felt alive. Like at least I feel something. Like oh, that's what existence is supposed to be like. Do you find you're looking for that same high, or is it completely different when you're teetering on dream and consciousness?
That's a very good question. My lack is like I feel very uncomfortable. Like that's my weakness. Anything that makes me feel supremely comfortable is very alluring.
Mm.
So that's what I seek out. That's why opioids were so attractive to me. So that's more of my thing. Like you said, like you want to be highly engaged and like winning and celebrating like that. Yeah, that's the opposite of me. I want to be in a very deeply relaxed state of like painlessness. Right, that's what I'm shooting for,
Yeah.
which can be like the saddest like view of that is like you're alone. You're like in a ditch, like nodding out or something, which is I don't know where I'm going with that, but.
I follow though, brother. I love that feeling too, but I'm so laid back that the rush of emotions and the feelings of just euphoria, it's very rare. So when I get a heavy dose of it, it's like, yeah, I'd like a little more of that. Yeah, but I hear you. I love the comfort too. There's nothing better than fucking numbingly comfortable. Just oh, it's beautiful.
You
Yeah.
ever there's pictures like the way I would kind of like frame like an opioids for someone that's never done it It's like these oil paintings of like a lonely little house, and you can tell like it's in the middle of like a tundra, and there's snow falling, and there's a beautiful moonlit sky, and there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the chimney, and it just says like comfort and insulation from like everything that's happening around you. Like no one's gonna get to you because it's like the weather's bad, but you're in this little house, comfortable, insulated, away from everything. Like that's my idea of like what I want to do. You know, I look nostalgically at those paintings, go, I want to be in that tiny house. You know, I don't picture myself in a crowd. I picture myself, you know, in a tiny cabin in the middle of like Antarctica, like something like that.
Antarctica, come on now.
Well, sometimes to comfort myself, I pretend that I'm on a tiny house on Mars, and I'm the only one there. And I find it very soothing. This idea sometimes of
A planet
like
to yourself, yeah.
pure isolation. Yeah, but it's like I'm not saying I always feel that way, but when I'm stressed out, like that's what I think about sometimes.
It's enticing. I think about that too. Not a planet though, you fucking creep. But like in the woods or something like that.
Do you ever
Being
watch those YouTube channels where they go out into the wilderness themselves? They're like in little tents, like an insulated tent in the middle of you know, some isolated. It's like 10 degrees below zero, and they're like cooking little like eggs on a skillet or something.
it's
Or
all
watch
this
those things?
it's all the same shit. But yeah, there's ones that do it really well. But dude, I think it's super cool. I wish I had honed those skills when I was younger. I would love to do it to a limited degree at some point in my life. Like somewhere cool, little cabin, camp out a day or two. That seems fucking cool. I'd want a gun. I don't trust people out there though. I'd fucking shoot a motherfucker if I had to, or Bigfoot. But yeah, yeah. I watch them. Yes, I do.
Okay. Dean,
Soothing.
where's your safe space at, man? Is it in a crowd celebrating when your team scores a victory point, or is it in a cabin in Alaska?
I like friends. I always like having people around.
Yeah.
I think I'm a social animal.
So I thought of living in the wilderness alone is just you could do it, but you need to be like 15 minutes from town, right? Close by.
Like I like having Ween around. I like talking to people. I'm happiest with other people.
Well, right.
There's
You can get to
very rare that I want.
civilization, not like you don't have to trek out for days to get there. It's right
I
around.
can be outside of civilization, but I want people with me. You know what I mean? Like I want a family or a friends and stuff like that. If I got that in the wilderness, I'll be okay.
I don't know if I could do alone in the wilderness. I think that would terrify me. I think maybe that's like a hump you got to get over. Like it's like
Yeah.
the big scary bear in the night, but it's like maybe once you do it, you can do it. But the thought of sleeping alone, that'd be a bit intimidating, man. It's kind of scary.
Got scared in Oneana, sleeping alone there.
In the
Man.
house, yeah, I had a gun.
Yeah. There was all kinds of shit out there in the wilderness, man. That was scary. Yeah. So yeah, I prefer to have some. It's amazing how my fear has disappeared when I have somebody with me. Like I've been deep in that Hawaii ocean chase, like with Bruce and friends back from Captain Cook. There is no fear when I'm sleeping, when I'm swimming with them. But when I'm alone, oh man, I
Uh,
get really scared
yeah,
going out there. Yeah.
yeah, that's terrifying, man. It's interesting. I used to watch what's that guy's YouTube channel? Like the Outdoor Boys, the good old guy with his kids. And his kid's like 12. He's like, they're in Alaska, and he's like, he's camping out by himself tonight, and he's got a cell phone, but his son's texting him, he's like, I don't know, Dad, I don't know if he's scared, a little scared. Makes it through the night, picks him up in the morning, and the son's like, yeah, I'm not scared anymore. Sleep outside. Like he's just like, you gotta just kind of,
Immersion.
yeah, you gotta get over the hump.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool, cool.
cool.
Shall we call it
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that'd be cool with the native job because I could, Bigfoot's down there, bears, and shit, could fucking face to face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really hope you get hooked up with the Native American church, and you could like get me into one of those peyote ceremonies. That'd be pretty cool.
Bet you they do it. Bet you they do fucking all that shit, man. Yeah, if I get into that, yeah, I'll let you know.
Cool.
100%. All right, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the Divine Brothers podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.